Hello, my name is Dr. Nicole Bowman Farrell. I'm from the Stockbridge-Muncie Mohican Reservation in Shawano, Wisconsin, and I am the owner of Bowman Performance Consulting. My job is to help people do business with tribal governments and tribal entities, nonprofits, for-profits, corporations. Today, I'm going to share a few tips on doing business with tribal governments and other tribal enterprises. There are many pathways to getting work with tribal governments and with other governments. We learn a lot about how to get work with federal governments and state governments, even municipal governments. We learn how to become part of a network with corporate businesses so that as a small business, minority disadvantaged business, we can become someone that medium to large size businesses look for to do subcontracting with. However, we rarely learn about how to do business with tribal governments, and there are 11 in the state of Wisconsin. And there are literally thousands of Native American businesses and corporations that you might be able to leverage partnerships with for new work in your industry area. It is important to understand the different tribal pathways, and if you look at 1 through 6 below, you can learn about working with tribal governments. Tribal enterprises are businesses that are run by the tribal governments. Tribal businesses are like myself, small, medium, large-sized businesses that do work all over the state of Wisconsin and literally all over the country. There are tribal nonprofits, and that means there's 51% or more that are Native American folks that are on the board. Remember, there are also tribal colleges that you can think about working with as well. And so in order to understand this pathway for business, it's really important to understand how you diversify within the tribal business area to do business with tribal government, because there are many pathways and you have to pick what works the best, for you. Just to give an overview, tribal governments, there are 11 in the state of Wisconsin. Each are unique. There are 467 recognized tribes in the United States. There's 11 in the state of Wisconsin. And just think about who you live by. Maybe you already kind of work with on a volunteer board, or you have boards that you're on that have other Native American colleagues. Think about who you already have natural connections with when it comes to tribal governments. There are websites on tribal governments, which you'll see below, U.S. Department of Interior. And Wisconsin has the State Tribal Relations Office that you can check out and learn more about the tribes. Here are the tribal governments in the state of Wisconsin. There are 11 federally recognized tribes. Many of these also have big populations and offices in urban areas in the state of Wisconsin. Milwaukee, for instance, has several tribes that have offices down in the Milwaukee area: Forest County, Potawatomi, Oneida, Menominee Indian, and Ho-Chunk. When you work with tribal governments, there are 2 ways to get certified. If you're a tribal business, some tribes have a Tribal Employment Right Office or TARO office. Others have Indian Preference Office for Indian vendors and contracts. Every tribal agency keeps a list of just vendors and contractors, regardless if you are a tribal business or if you are a non-tribal business. So find out what the tribe is buying, much like you do for the state of Wisconsin, and how to get on their vendor list. And if you are a small, minority, disadvantaged, or Native American business, you may be eligible for other certifications within the tribal government, such as being a TARO certified Indian business or Indian Preference certified business. RFPs are usually on the websites and the tribal newspapers, and a lot are done with tribes by word of mouth. So build those relations, make sure you deliver what you promise, and do a good job on being an efficient and effective and professional vendor or consultant or contractor to the tribe. Indian Preference and TARO allows tribes to buy Indian, just like state and federal governments have special certifications for minority, disadvantaged, veteran. So do tribes. Not all tribes have special certifications, so you'll have to check with each one. Or the American Indian Chamber of Commerce of Wisconsin, located in Milwaukee, will also be able to help you. Tribal enterprises are businesses run by the tribal government. They can be for-profit and non-for-profit, but the tribal government runs the business. So they may have a casino, for instance, is a big tribal enterprise. They're very diverse. And you'll have to check out local tribes to see what each tribe's corporations are. Some examples: Menominee Tribal Enterprises, they do logging. Little Star Gas Station, that's Stockbridge Muncie. St. Croix Construction, Oneida Nation Farms, and so on. All the casinos are considered tribal enterprises. It's important that you know that each of these tribal government enterprises, tribal business enterprises, have vendor lists that they also keep beyond just the tribal government, so get on those lists as well. These are different places. Ho-Chunk Nation of Wisconsin has a Taro certification. If you're an Indian business, get on there, and you can become a vendor. Ho-Chunk Incorporated nationally is out of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. They do hundreds of millions of dollars in contracts. So whether you're in or outside of the state of Wisconsin, you too can become a certified vendor. Tribal businesses are folks like me, small, medium, and large-sized businesses in many different areas. And the Chamber of Commerce of Wisconsin has a list of American Indian Chamber businesses. You can become a member of our American Indian Chamber, and you will get lots of access, networking opportunities to start to work with tribal businesses run by private Native American individuals that may live on or off the reservation. An example is the Belanger Corporation. They are a tribal business. Jean Marie owns Belanger Corporation, and they do mechanical, plumbing, and contracting, and she is the person to go to if you'd like to partner. Kaufman and Associates, that's a national Native American business out of Washington State. We partner with them on many large-scale research projects. We like to be a subcontractor, not a federal contractor, so we even partner with large businesses who do similar work to us that need assistance. Tribal nonprofits are organizations with 51% or more on their board. Examples might be the Woodland Boys and Girls Club of Menominee, Great Lakes Intertribal Corporation, and the American Indian Chamber of Commerce. Figure out where you fit best. Here are the examples: Great Lakes Intertribal, and they put RFPs up there, and get to know, make relations, because RFPs aren't always posted like you would see on a vendor net. The Chamber of Commerce, you can do a business directory search. You can become a member, and when you become a member, you get a lot more chances to do networking and to hear about bidding opportunities that maybe non-members wouldn't hear about. Tribal colleges are wonderful places to go in the state of Wisconsin. Lac-Courte, Ojibwe Community College and College of Menominee Nation are the two places you might want to look at for contracted work. We've done work with the College of Menominee Nations for external grant evaluation, evaluating the state tribal partnership for the Wisconsin Department of Transportation project, and there are many ways that you can become involved. Janitorial services they bid out, to construction, manufacturing, and trade. So get to know your tribal colleges as well, because they are growing in Wisconsin and throughout the United States. The place to see about all tribal colleges and universities is the American Indian Higher Education Consortium. Here is the place that you go look, and RFPs, jobs, and other opportunities are posted there. The Tribal College Journal is a trade magazine that has a lot of RFPs that are put out for consultants and contractors to bid on. Some of the colleges post RFPs and opportunities. I would also say go to the News from Indian Country newspaper has a really nice place to go. Make sure you know what your skills and strengths are. One thing we do is grant writing, but there's so much, as you can see from this graphic, within grant writing. A lot of it, we can do research for people, we can develop things, we can do technical writing if folks need help with that. And we always do evaluation and developing performance metrics and making sure that the money keeps coming in for grant money that you have been awarded. So figure out ways to diversify and communicate your services is really important. And BPC does a lot more than grant writing, but that's one of our areas. These are just tips for finding funding and to write grants. There are bids that are available for for-profit businesses. And besides there being set-asides, which are few and far between, you have to remember you need to be focused and planned and prepared and consider how you can be a strategic team partner. We can't receive grants because we are for-profit. So most of the money goes to nonprofit or public agencies. There's probably 1% of grants that go to businesses, and you can go to www.bpcwi.com to get a free list of grants available to businesses. But you have to create partnerships, and creating partnerships with tribes, tribal colleges, tribal nonprofits is one way that you can leverage grant funding, because you can help write grants and you can write yourself into the grant if you have that type of relationship. Market your services specifically to tribal clients. This is just an example of what I can do for tribal governments. This is a many-page document, because nonprofits need different things and tribal governments need different things and maybe tribal colleges. So make sure you know how to specifically market to that target area, and make sure it's very culturally and contextually responsive. So you wouldn't say that you're going in to do procurement policies per se, unless you know you're working with the Economic Development Office. You might update it and say, we can help you write procurement policies, but we can help you become a tribal government that also has TARO certification or Indian preference certification, so that more Indian businesses can work, and that if you give grants work to non-Indian businesses, that they are falling under the compliance of trying to pull in as many Indian businesses as possible on the new work that is being given out. So just really think, the main part is, how do you make your services, your professional services, speak into the listening of the tribal clients that you are hoping to get work with? That's really important. These are the different places for tribal procurement and technical assistance centers. If you are a Native American business, you can go to any one of these agencies to get assistance. Within the state of Wisconsin, I always go to the American Indian Chamber of Commerce, Wisconsin Procurement Institute, and Wisconsin Small Business Association. Those are very helpful. The small business development corporations, councils, within the state of Wisconsin are helpful. And you can always go to your local Chamber of Commerce, and there are many Native American chambers of commerce in the state of Wisconsin. The National Center for American Indian Enterprise Development is a national technical assistance center. They get together Indian businesses with federal agencies and large non-Indian businesses, so that you can network, you can receive the latest and greatest information on opportunities, and you can showcase it is what you do at the conference through a table, providing presentations or what have you. There are also regional NCAIED conferences, and we had one in Wisconsin last September. So look on the National Center for American Indian Enterprise Development website to find your opportunities. Indian Country Today, as I was saying you, the newspaper, great place to find RFPs and job opportunities, or to market yourself. NCAI is also another place to look for job listings. You can also find out how to become an advisory member or a partner to NCAI. I would also make sure, besides the websites, that you're following folks on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, because there's a lot of information that is available to you. We have different handouts available. If you would like to receive those, please just go to www.bpcwi.com, or you can email me at info@bpcwi.com, and we'll make these available to you. But most are on our website for free. And just some concluding thoughts. Make sure you start small. It can be overwhelming. Think about one tribe, and if you can work your magic with that one tribe, whether it's a tribal government or tribal nonprofit or tribal for-profit, do that. It may take 3 months, it may take 6 months, it may take years. Some of my relationships that I have developed have cultivated over 10 or 12 years, and now they are very solid, and BPC is considered a go-to person for Indigenous research, Indigenous evaluation, needs assessment, and the things that I know that my clients are missing. And I did that through long-term visiting, partnerships, showing up, volunteering on boards, providing training, technical assistance, and a lot of our work, frankly, is earned through word of mouth. And that is because of not only the way we conduct ourselves to build relationships, but also after an award and during the implementation of the project, delivering, effective services in an efficient way and culturally responsive way too. It has to work for the client that you're with. That's just business 101. Thank you very much for being part of my presentation, and I wish you good luck. Now go out there and get it done.